Also, because it's 3 out of 5 stars, I really don't like the fact of the cover. Mom! I'm doing my video! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny from Danny Zoom Books, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. This week we're going to be doing a book review, but last week I did something different than what I normally do, and I did a paranormal book series recommendation. And if you guys, on a side note, really want to see that, I will leave a link down below so that you guys can be able to watch it and have it like a little peek on it. This week's book review is going to be about Grave Mercy from LaFevers. Now, you guys know I love my covers. I love the way they look and I love the way that they feel, but I feel with this one in particular that they could have done a better shot. I understand how it's relevant. I understand all the aspects of it and how it goes with the book. And I love that it goes with the book because a lot of covers don't. But this one I feel like could have done a better shot. I feel like it could have been just better made. This is how thick it is, and it is a 566 page book. This is how it looks on the inside. I know some people would like to know how big it is, how the lettering is, and things like that. So that there you go. And this book is about this book follows a girl named Ismay, and she escapes a very abusive marriage. And the night that she escapes, she finds refuge in a convent. And that convent is not a normal convent. It is the handmaidens of death. They serve a man or a god named Saint Morton, and he is the god of death, basically. And she pretty much gets included in this convent, and what they do is that they teach every woman that goes there, and pretty much all of them have been in abusive relationships or had an abusive situation in home life, and so they teach them the arts of killing. So they know how, in any weapon, they know how to kill a man, and they teach them also the womanly arts. So they know how to flirt, they know how to get a guy's guard down, and all of that. And so she goes into them, and 3 years later, she finally gets her some assignments to kill some people. And so she goes, and she does this, and she ends up having to work her big case, or her big assignment has to be end up working with a guy named Duval. And he's under the suspicion of being a traitor in Brittany. And so she goes with him to work with him, or per se, which is really to spy on him. And what happens is that she gets orders to kill him, but he pretty much has her heart now, so it's hard for her to do it. And throughout this whole book, she's trying to figure out who is going behind the Duchess and trying to ruin basically everything and have the French take over. Now, this book, I have to say, I would have to give it 3 out of 5 stars. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because it was very boring in the beginning. I ended up reading it, I want to say in the beginning of January, and after the first chapter or the second, I put it down and I didn't pick it up till 2 days ago. Because it was just very boring. It was very dry. I understand what it was going for because it was giving the background information on Ismay and where she comes from and what she thinks and everything like that. However, it was very boring. When I picked it back up, I have to say, because I was like, no, I have to finish it. I can't just leave a book unread. I have to say that this book really got better. It was absolutely amazing. It had me crying, it had me cracking up, it had me just cheering. It was really good. It's very filled with a lot of action, and I have to say it was definitely worth picking back up again. Now, if you guys are wanting to read this, I have to say that you guys just have to stick it out. The first, I want to say 1 through 3 chapters, although I can't remember, but around that time or around those pages are pretty much where it's pretty boring. Also, another reason why I gave it 3 out of 5, not only because it was boring in the beginning, it's the cover. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, and for me that is a huge deal. I don't like the cover. I didn't like the beginning of the chapters. If you guys don't like a book that grips, or wants a book that grips you from the first page, I honestly wouldn't pick up this book, but I would pick it up if you guys are willing to bypass it and to continue on, because the story is a really good story. It is a book series, but I believe that these are standalone books, so that it follows different characters of the same book. This is the first one in the series. The second one follows another character that you hear about, and then you get to see in the first chapter, I want to say, the first or second chapter, and then she kind of disappears throughout it until towards the end, and that the second book is her series, and then the third, or her story, and then the third book is another character that you see and that you kind of read throughout the book. That's her story. Now, I have to say 3 out of 5 stars, but again, I kind of recommend it if you guys really want some action. If you guys are okay with a little boring start, I'd say pick it up. If you guys want a good love story, I have to say this romance was actually really cute. I fell in love with Duval in the very beginning. I don't know, it was just something about the way that he was written, and I don't know, it was just like an instant. The minute he was put into the book, I just fell in love with him. The minute he was put into the story, you just kind of be like, oh my gosh, Duval, like, you know, and I really recommend it. I love their romance, and I love the way it ends. I cried, I laughed, I was like cheering. I really enjoyed it towards the end, and I have to stress it, it is boring in the beginning. So if you guys pick this up, I have to say, you know, just push through. It gets a whole lot better in like the 4th chapter on to like the 35th or whatever. But I really recommend it because it's an awesome book. Boring, but awesome at the same time. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I want to say for the non-spoiler section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds that if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, so go ahead and, you know, click off and watch some of my other videos. Now, again, pick it up if you guys like action, if you guys like romance, if you guys like assassins, if you guys like historical fiction, if you guys anything like that, I would definitely recommend it. Just push through the couple chapters. And thank you again so much for clicking on my video. Bye, you guys. Okay, guys, so for those of you guys who stayed, I'm going to give you guys a few spoilers and more of my opinion on how this book went. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that I love Duval, and I feel like that's all I should say. I love Duval because he's very, not snarky, but he's very sarcastic, he's very witty. I don't know, his demeanor, I just love him. He's an overall character that you just fall in love with, especially throughout the book, because he's so loyal to his sister, and I love that. I love the fact that he doesn't let the fact that he is that's his half sister to take away from it. I don't know why it would take away. I really don't know why being a half-sister would take away from his loyalty, but I love how strong his loyalty is. It shows his character, it shows how he would be with Esme. And I'm gonna say Esme, I love her. I love her character. I love how she's so strong, and she knows that she can kill someone, and so she's for it. She's bloodthirsty, and yet she's not at the same time. She still has her conscience. And I love how she kind of grows into that towards the end of the book, and throughout the book, really. She kind of grows into like a normal human being that, you know, can kill someone. I really liked it. Her progress, I feel like, you know, sometimes it's like a weak person grows into a strong, and she was weak and then she was strong, but she grows into her strength, and it's more of an inward strength than just, you know, oh yeah, I can kick some butt and I can kill a guy. Like, I love that it feels more in depth, and you really do fall in love with her. I don't like the fact that she's very, you know, like, oh my gosh, I have to do this to the convent, I have to like do this, and she's like blindly follows. I understand that she needs to. So I get that aspect, but I'm not very fond of the idea of just how sometimes she's very weak, and sometimes she's just very like blindly follows, even though she doesn't like understand. Another thing is that Sybil, I think that's her name, I don't understand her character. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the second book because it's her story. I love the fact that she's always constantly, regardless of how her mental health is, she's always watching out for Ismay. She's giving her clues, making sure that the Duchess, you know, isn't raped, which is another thing that I'm not very fond of. I love that she was there, and that she pretty much was like, yo, you need to back off. If not, you know, you're gonna die. I love how she protects protects the Duchess. She's very loyal, and I think that's why she works so well with Duval, because they're very loyal and they will protect the Duchess regardless. Another thing, let's see. The action was really, really good. I loved the action. I loved how she was like very focused, and that you saw the human side of her, but you also saw the side where she's like, her heart turned cold, you know what I mean? Okay, Beast, I love him so much. I love him. And then to hear what happened to him, like, literally made me cry. Like, I was sitting next to my boyfriend, and I was, like, trying to hold in these tears, and he was telling me that I have an issue, but I was, like, that him and I call him Delorve, because I have no idea how to say his name, and him, the way he died, and the way Beast died, I mean, they deserve so much more, and then, oh, it was so good. It was so good. I love the fact that you love Beast from the beginning. And another thing, I love the battlefield that she does, where she realizes that she can give them all peace. And so she takes a knife and she starts, you know, giving them little cuts so that their souls can, you know, so that their souls can be, you know, released. And in peace. And I love the fact that she just goes from being her mind just solely on vengeance because of what her father and what her husband did, to now she's like, okay, I understand that that's what, you know, St. Martin is partially about, but he's also about mercy. And so she gives mercy, and so she turns pretty much her back against the convent, and it's very empowering for her. And I love that, because she's now not blindly following. It's now she is, you know, she has a mind of her own. Now she understands that it's not just about vengeance, that you have to give people a chance to change. And I love the fact that, you know, she doesn't lose her conscience. She's just not a machine. And I really, really like that fact. And I like the fact that she stands up against the people that, you know, are just telling her that she needs to get rid of the people that she loves. And this book kind of reminds me of Warrior Princess. I really recommend that book, and I'll probably do a recommendation on that soon, but it really reminds me of that. So if you guys have read Warrior Princess, I seriously suggest picking up Grave Mercy, because if you guys really like that, you'll definitely like Grave Mercy. Or that's pretty much what I can think of right now. I don't want to spoil anything else. The action was awesome. The history was awesome. Duval's and Ismay's romance was awesome. I love how it was not love at first sight. It was hatred at first sight. I loved how it was earned. I just loved the whole ending of the book. I didn't like the beginning because it was boring, but towards the end, I really, really enjoyed it. So I have to say that you guys, if you guys want historical fiction, action, romance, mystery, I definitely suggest you pick this up, because it has everything packed into this one book. So that's it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't say too much or too little. Let me know what you guys think Duval and Ismay's ship name should be. I want to say Izzle. I'll say Izzle. I don't know. You guys let me know. But just let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And again, I will leave a link to my other video, as well as my Goodreads and my Instagram, so that you guys can be able to follow me there. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think. And bye, guys.